Preface. The instruction to the Kalamas is justly famous for its encouragement of free inquiry. The spirit of the sutta signifies a teaching that is exempt from fanaticism, bigotry, dogmatism, and intolerance. The reasonableness of the Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching, is chiefly evident in its welcoming, careful examination at all stages of the path to enlightenment. Indeed, the whole course of training for wisdom, culminating in the purity of the consummate one, the Arhat, is intimately bound up with examination and analysis of things internal: the eye and visible objects, the ear and sounds, the nose and smells, the tongue and tastes, the body and tactile impressions, the mind and ideas. Thus, since all phenomena have to be correctly understood in the field of the Dhamma, insight is operative throughout. In this sutta, it is active in rejecting the bad and adopting the good way. In the extracts given below and clarifying the basis of knowledge and conditionality and arhatship. Here it may be mentioned that the methods of examination found in the Kalama Sutta and in the extracts cited here have sprung from the knowledge of things as they are, and that the tenor of these methods are implied in all straight thinking. Further, as penetration and comprehension, the constituents of wisdom are the result of such thinking. The place of critical examination and analysis in the development of right vision is obvious. Where is a wisdom or vision that can descend all of a sudden, untouched and uninfluenced by critical thought? The Kalama Sutta, which sets forth the principles that should be followed by a seeker of truth, and which contains a standard things are judged by, belongs to a framework of the Dhamma. The four solaces taught in the sutta point out the extent to which the Buddha permits suspense of judgment in matters beyond normal cognition. The solaces show that the reason for a virtuous life does not necessarily depend on belief in rebirth or retribution, but on mental well-being acquired through the overcoming of greed, hatred, and delusion. More than 50 years ago, Moncure D. Conway, the author of My Pilgrimage to the Wise Men of the East, visited Colombo. He was a friend of Panambalang Ramanathan, who was then Solicitor General of Ceylon, and together with him, Conway went to the Vidyodhaya Pirivena to learn something of the Buddha's teachings from Hikaduve Siri Sumangala Nayakathera, the founder of the institution. Nayakathera explained to them the principles contained in the Kalama Sutta, and at the end of the conversation, Ramanathan whispered to Conway, "Is it not strange that you and I, who come from far different religions and regions, should together listen to a sermon from the Buddha in favor of that free thought, that independence of traditional and fashionable doctrines, which is still the vital principle of human development?" Conway: "Yes, and we, with the Kalama princes, pronounce his doctrines good."